Did our market just start to turn a corner, or is this just a blip? I'm Ron Milligan with RE/MAX Select here in Portland's Pearl District, and I have got for you our latest weekly market statistics for the full Portland metro area. That's everything on the Oregon side of the border, including everything north in Southwest Washington. So the first thing is kind of the big news is that the number of active listings leveled off and actually shrank a little bit. As you can see here, we've been on this steady rise of new listings, more and more listings. The supply kept growing and growing and growing. And for the first time, we saw that number recede. The number of active listings went down just under 90 listings. So not a big amount, but this is the first time we've seen that in a very long time. Then part of the reason for that is the number of new listings to hit the market was lower than we've seen for probably since the 4th of July. And that was kind of a blip there. That week was kind of a quiet week just because it was a shorter week and a lot of folks were on vacation. And as I've said in the past, when realtors are on vacation, properties don't get listed, homes don't get shown, offers don't get written. So that's probably what we saw, it's definitely what we saw back in July, 4th of July. But right now, this could be something different, something that I've been talking about, which is we may be looking more like a normal year in Portland versus the crazy insanity that we've been experiencing for the last couple of years. And every summer, our market starts to get a little sleepy, July and August. So the thing that was interesting, though, is the number of pending listings, so kind of our measure of buyer demand, did go up. We had a strong showing. 812 deals went under contract versus previous weeks, 740, 749, 642, 701. So it's been, the best, strongest number that we've seen in about 7 weeks or so. It's good to see that buyers are out taking advantage of this opportunity. And I think that a lot of buyers are, who had been sitting on the sidelines are have been watching the interest rates kind of reduce and reduce and reduce over the last few weeks, get down to a level that's a little more palatable, and understand that if they go make an offer, they don't have to waive all their inspections and all their contingencies and make an offer that's way above asking price. It's a different market from what they had been experiencing in the past, and I think some of them are starting to realize that, and we're seeing that in these numbers here. For the homes that did sell, we had 639 that sold. That's a pretty good showing compared to the last couple of weeks, but probably about the last month or so. Of those homes that did sell, they sold on average for $631,253. That's up a little bit. We've been seeing, you can see here that we've been seeing this number recede over the last few weeks, and this is just a slight bump up versus what we've been seeing versus last week. The difference in the average sale price from last year to this year for roughly that same time period is only about 5.6%. So we're 5.6% higher this year than we were for roughly the same week last year. The reason that number is low, even though our average sale price did go up, is because last year it went up really, really high. It was a big gain during that week. The average sale price was $597,873. So we're probably going to continue to see numbers that are, well below the 10% mark. Just keep in mind that the way that the average, appreciation is figured is they compare, typically like RMLS does this, they'll compare the average sale price for all of 2021 versus the average sale price for all of 2022. So keep in mind at the beginning of the year we had numbers that were above the 10% mark, consistently 14, 12, 11, 11, kind of 10%. And now we're starting to see numbers lower than that. Again, that kind of feels like more of a normal year. On any given year, our highest average sale price is usually some random week in May, April or May, maybe even a little bit into June. And then the number recedes throughout the balance of the year. So we'll watch this number go down, and it'll probably drag the average down, and we may end the year maybe somewhere around 7% for our year-over-year increase in the average sale price. We'll see. Median sale price $560 this year versus $520 last year. That's 7.7% increase. But again, keep in mind these are small samples and this number can be a little bit volatile. The average list price, this was the thing that was kind of surprising to me, is the average list price versus the original asking price were down. So we're at 97.5%. So on average, a seller got 97.5% of their original asking price. That means they listed, they probably did a price reduction, and then the property sold at 97.5% of what that original asking price was. Last year, that number is 102.06. So on average, they got 2% more. Right now, we're 2.5% less. But what that is it's not a measure of appreciation, depreciation. It's a measure of what the buyers or sellers' expectations were when they listed the house. Maybe a lot of sellers or agents who are representing them aren't 100% aware of what's going on with the market, and they're listing too high, and they're having to do price reductions to get back down to market level where the property sells. So that's what that's a measure of. Price reductions over the last 7 days. Speaking of price reductions, those are up, or actually down from the previous week, 780 versus the previous week, 834. What I did think was interesting this week is that we had a higher number of those properties that went under contract after they did the price reduction. So of that 780, 712 were still active, and 68 did go under contract. I think last week it was 50. And I did do that second, I ran the numbers for homes that decreased their price by $15,000 or more. That number was 492 out of the 780,000. Average days on market was up, went from 18 to 21. Last year, roughly same time period, that number was 17. And then the median went up one more day, it went from 9 to 10. And you can see that here on the chart. So what does this mean, and what are we looking for going forward? I've been hinting at the idea that we're entering kind of more of a normal year where things will slow down. I get the feeling, this is what my gut tells me, and of course, one set of numbers doesn't equal a trend, so we have to watch these numbers and see what's going to happen over the next few weeks. But I suspect that the lion's share of the folks who are planning on selling this summer have already put their homes on the market and sold. And that the balance of what we're seeing now is a smaller group of folks who are having to sell for one reason or another. So I suspect that we're going to continue to see the number of new listings lower, and hopefully we'll continue to see the number of new transactions holding steady, if not maybe gaining a little ground. So those are the couple of numbers we'll watch, and of course the third number that we're really going to watch is the total number of active listings. Is that number going up, down, or is it just flatlining? So as always, all real estate is local. If you're curious about what's going on in your neck of the woods, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to share anything that we know, and we would love it if you would subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and share this video with someone you think that might find the information useful. All right, we'll see you next week.